What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Comic Book Nerd, where we talk all things major movie television news. I'm your host on the channel, Grant Sullivan, and in today's video, we have an update regarding Disney selling to Apple. We're going to talk about Disney selling to Apple, what this means for the future of Marvel Studios, this article from The Hollywood Reporter stating that Disney could potentially be selling to Apple. We're breaking this article down. We have another article to break down, but first, if you guys are new to the channel, obviously you guys know what to do. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn that bell on. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. And obviously, this has been a little delayed. This came out a couple days ago, so we're going to break it down now. It's been out for a minute, so obviously, a lot of people are going over it. So we're going to go over it as well. So, without further ado, let's hop into this article. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So, this article is from the Hollywood Reporter. If you guys don't know who that is, it's a very, very reliable trade insider. And the title of this article is, A Disney Sell to Apple, Don't Count It Out This Time. So, once again, we have heard rumors that Disney is going to be selling to Apple. We know that they're going to sell some of their parts to Apple, but they could be selling all of everything to Apple. So, we're going to break down this article, talk about what this means for the future of Marvel Studios as well, and that's what we're going to do in today's video. So, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So, it starts off by saying, facing the staggering problems affecting all legacy studios is Bob Iger contemplating a once unthinkable option. The signals he sent in Sun Valley suggest that it could happen. A few weeks before Bob Iger sat down from the CNBC interview in which he said that Disney's linear TV networks, ABC and FX, may not be core to the company's business, a veteran Hollywood exclusive executive mused to The Hollywood Reporter on a possibility of a deal that would rock the industry, Apple buying Disney. It's an idea that keeps being discussed, even though many top executives have scoffed at it, and many still do. Apple doesn't want to buy a studio, they say, and there's no way the feds would allow a huge deal to go through like that. But this observer wasn't so quick to rule it out, and I quote, "I don't think Apple would buy the company as it presently exists," he said. But if you see Bob start to divest things, that feels like he's preparing for a sale, and there's clearly no buyer like Apple. So there you go. Obviously, we know that Bob Iger is indeed trying to do this. We'll pause right here and talk about this really, really quick. We know that Bob Iger is trying to do this. We know that we want Disney and Marvel especially is starting to cut down on Disney Plus content. We know that they are going to be making quality over quantity. That's what Bob Iger has been talking about since he first stepped into the role. So, and with them cutting the cost of ABC, FX, all of that stuff, it is looking very, very likely that Bob Iger is planning for this future, that if they would like to sell to Apple, then they make changes, and then obviously Apple would buy them. So, this being said, that would affect Marvel Studios, but let's continue to go on. Not long after that, Iger went on television and hung a possibility for sale sign on Disney's TV businesses, like for example, ABC and FX. And just like that, it was a little more possible to see the outlines of a slimmed-down Disney that could be a tempting acquisition target. There's clearly no buyer like Apple, which is sitting on $62 billion in cash and cash equivalents, and has a 2.8 trillion market cap. And while it may be very true that Apple doesn't want to buy a studio, maybe it would want to buy this studio, this being Disney. So we've heard rumors that Apple doesn't want to buy any movie studio. They would obviously make an exception for Disney. Disney is the biggest company in the world right now. They are one of the biggest companies in the world. So obviously Apple would do everything that they can to buy this studio. That one that, despite the challenges of the moment, has a vault full of priceless IP and remains the most valuable brand in entertainment. And there's been a long-standing special relationship between Disney and Apple. Obviously, Steve Jobs on Disney's board of directors from 2006 until his death in 2008. Iger joined Apple's board shortly after Jobs died. He resigned from the position September 10th, 2019, the same day Apple officially announced that it was getting into the content business through its Apple TV service, or Apple TV Plus service. Some Hollywood executives have been anticipating a future in which the studio herd could continue to thin dramatically. There will end up there will end up being 3 or 4 platforms that everybody else gets hollowed out and acquired, and one industry veteran. There will be Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and one over. If you could put NBC, Universal, Warner's, and Paramount together, you probably have enough to service as well. And if Iger sees the world the same way, finding a home for Disney could be a temptation. Multiple sources say that Iger has returned to the CEO job, or Iger, having returned to the CEO job in November, has never faced more stress. Not only is he confronting an industry in transition, but much of the team that was with him in the good years is no longer at the company. General Counsel Alan Braverman and film studio chief Alan Horn have retired. CFO Christy McCarthy got into a bit too close to Bob Chapek during his tenure as CEO is gone after 23 years at the company. This may explain Iger's rapprochement with former top Disney execs Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs, both of whom were passed over for CEO, but who have recently been named as consultants to the company. They know this company well, and not only can they figure out how to trim Disney Plus costs, but they can also assist in a possible sale of the linear TV assets, including ABC Broadcast Network and its 8 local TV stations, as well as cable channels like Freeform and National Geographic. Other holdings like Disney Channel and Disney Junior would seem to be minimal value without the larger company's content and backing, and FX without the programming hand of John Landgraf and his team would seem to be devalued as well. One knowledgeable observer predicts Disney will load these assets with debt and sell to private equity. He believes the properties, which could be expected to generate $7 billion a year in profit, would sell for $50 billion. Disney's linear networks generated $8.5 billion in profits in fiscal 2022, though that deal is expected to decline as cord cutting continues. Disney could put $25 billion on the Disney debt of the deal as well. So obviously this article pretty much just goes on to state that any idea of Apple selling to Disney would be great, but obviously we know that if Disney does want to sell to Apple, then that is going to affect Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, all of that stuff. We know that Kathleen Kennedy could be out at Lucasfilm as this happens, as well as Kevin Feige being out at Marvel Studios. So this is very, very important to the future of the MCU because of the plans that we know is coming. We know that Kevin Feige is indeed going to be shaking up the MCU as well. That we have heard delays and stuff like that. And Apple's CEO might not see the same way that Kevin Feige does. So if Apple does sell to Disney, they could wipe out the entirety of Marvel Studios, start fresh, maybe even do a reboot like Battle War at the end of Secret Wars if this deal does happen or something like that, and then wipe the slate completely fresh with Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, all of that stuff. So it's very, very important to the company if Apple were to buy Disney as well. But obviously, let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Would you like Apple to buy Disney? Do you want some change in the MCU and Marvel Studios and Star Wars as well? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. Once again, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn that bell on. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that being said, though, I'm going to hop off so you guys can get this video out on time as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Obviously, hit that sub button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.